Bob Evans donated 40,000 pounds of food in Greene County today. Xenia Rotary volunteers helped pick up the food in Xenia. The eggs, potatoes, and other goods are being distributed to food banks and churches.
Everyone loves a good pancake breakfast, and now is your chance to enjoy an all-you-can-eat pancake feast and help out a really good cause while you're at it. So joining me now is Bob Geyer to talk about the Xenia Rotary Pancake Day. Welcome, Bob.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So how did this all start so long ago?
There was two Rotary members back in 1957 had an idea of raising money, and now 53 years later, we're still doing it, and it's our largest money raiser for the Xenia Rotary Club.
And for the folks that don't know, what do you guys do, the Xenia Rotary?
Well, we're the largest service organization in Xenia, and in fact, Rotary is the largest service organization in the world. And what we do is we provide scholarships to the high schools. We help with Little League. We help with Xenia Soccer Club. We help with various other organizations, Red Cross, Xenia YMCA. We look at what they need and how much we think they need it, and then if it's a good effort, we'll support it.
I grew up in a community where people knew one another, where outreach was easy because you all saw each other all the time. As communities have grown, as the world has changed, as things have come to pull us apart, there's a constant need to go back to the traditional ways of the community, to remind one another that we're sitting right next to each other, that our best help is the help that is right next to you, that the people who understand what it's like to be you are your neighbors.
Rotary is not a club, in my opinion. Rotary is a culture. It's a way of life. It's not about teaching ethics, it's about identifying ethics and banding together in noble causes for the benefit of the community, not ourselves, service of ourselves.
I think that the Rotary has a real big presence in the community and does a lot of good things. The Rotary would go into the schools. They were active on the field day activities, active in reading programs, active in the sports activities, all the extracurriculars. And so that was always a real eye-opener for me.
Rotary is an outlet for serving. And sometimes it's hard to find a way to serve, by yourself. But when you're a member of a group like that, you've got a lot of opportunity to serve. So it's a way to give back.
I know that the Xenia Rotary Club is for Xenia. They're active in this community. They look for ways to serve and love this community by doing different events, by doing things for children, Christmas time, Pancake Day. So I know that the Xenia Rotary is an organization that comes together because they care about Xenia.
I think Rotary opens people's eyes to the needs in the community and the world. It's just a camaraderie that you'd want your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren to be involved in.
Well, quality of life is a big thing in Xenia. I realized that after I've been in business a couple of years and learned my way around. And Rotary really contributes to the quality of life. Whether it's us helping the senior population with funding for Meals on Wheels, if it's us helping a softball team or handing out a scholarship, or helping kids at the fair get animals bought and sold, Rotary contributes to all that. And the collective efforts and resources of the business community can really do some service and make a difference. And that's what Rotary's been about for 100 years, not only in Xenia, but for more than that all around the world.
Rotary International is a global network of 1.2 million neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers who see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe. Rotary started with the vision of one man, Paul Harris. The Chicago attorney formed the Rotary Club of Chicago on February the 23rd, 1905, so professionals with diverse backgrounds could exchange ideas and form meaningful, lifelong friendships. Over time, Rotary's reach and vision gradually extended to humanitarian service. Members have a long track record of addressing challenges in their communities and around the world. Our mission is simple. We provide service to others, promote integrity, advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through our fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. The Xenia Daily Gazette wrote in 1967 that the origin of the Xenia Rotary Club dates back to a Monday afternoon on November the 22nd, 1920. On this date, 6 local businessmen met to agitate for the organization of a Rotary Club in Xenia. On January the 21st, 1921, the Xenia Rotary Club was formally created with 20 members. Today, the club meets at noon each Tuesday at the Xenia Adult and Senior Recreation Center. At weekly meetings, members catch up with friends, hear what's happening in the community, share plans, and exchange ideas for creating lasting change.
In general, I think the community pretty much depends on Rotary. There are so many things that we have now in the community that we didn't have before. We were without the fireworks for so many years, and that was a big want of the community. And Rotary made that happen.
Well, if you look at Xenia Rotary, we do several really large projects that benefit the community. Our signature project is the Kevin Sunnycab Memorial Fireworks. We had just recently lost one of our most beloved club members, the wonderful philanthropist, Kevin Sunnycab. And so the club decided to reach out to the Sunnycab family to see if they would be willing to let us use Kevin's name to create a celebration for the community in his honor.
He would have been very humbled. I mean, he would have said, "Oh, you don't really need to put my name on it." But yeah, I think he, as a community, he would have thought it was perfect. And Kevin was kind of a firecracker himself. I mean, if you knew him, he liked to laugh, he liked to talk a lot.
Yeah, I think we're reminding people of the greater good and the potential that a community like Xenia still holds. With a simple program like partnering with the city of Xenia to launch some fireworks a year.
This year, we broke all attendance records. The police were saying that we probably had more than 20,000 people.
It doesn't seem like it's something that someone needs in terms of food, drink, clean water, those types of things. Yes, Rotary has helped eradicate polio. We have helped overseas projects like the DeWine Project, the Family Violence Protection Center, where people are abused. Those are very needy projects, and we've helped those. But in terms of things that our community remembers and that Rotary stands out for, I just have to say the fireworks, because it brings the community together. It's something that would be missed if it wasn't done in the future, and it would leave a void because there's, no one else would do it or could do it.
This fireworks show is just something that's very, very special. I think most people now understand it. That is a Kevin Sunnycab event and a Rotary event. And of course, Kevin was a very, very strong Rotarian.
I'm not going to say it's in terms of dollars. To me, what I see as the most significant contribution is the Christmas auction and the proceeds that those dollars go for, to be able to help those at that time, knowing that, we're seeing a direct impact with some of those families that may not have a gift under the tree every year.
I think the ripple effect is hard to measure, but I would say that the Christmas project, those children have Christmas because of Rotarians. We went from having just a party to actually purchasing Christmas for over 100 kids. I think that's very impactful.
Well, I had a program, and I had a young lady from the Meadows, which is a low-income housing unit, and 3 members, Carol Holmes, Virgil Brantley, and George Wide, went up to Randy Stout, who was the president at the time, and said, "Hey, look, we want to give $500 a piece if you guys want to do a Christmas party." And so they had a church right across the street, so I contacted them, and they let us use their gym for 3 years. And We bought presents. We didn't know who was going to show up, who didn't in the very beginning. And then it just kept growing and growing and growing. And so we kind of evolved it. I like the way we're doing it now, to where we get names. We just get a first name, age, and gender. Each Rotary member gets X amount of dollars, and we can buy for each kid, but everybody spends more than what's given to us. Then we deliver the presents to the school offices, and they divvy out the presents. So they physically do not see Rotary, but they know Rotary was the one who was being Santa.
If I looked at the improvements that have been made in the community through Rotary, there's just multiple things that have been done. I'm particularly drawn to the RILA. It's the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. And it's a week-long camp to develop leadership in students.
We've done beautification projects. We've done local fundraisers to help folks in need. There's been some years, there's been $40,000 contributed to quality of life and other substantial projects in this community by this club. Take $40,000 out of that budget for a community of 25,000 people, and it would certainly be missed. So those grants are very important, whether we're helping out the YMCA or we're helping out a local school or providing Christmas presents for kids less fortunate. I'm glad to be part of it.
I think the grants that we have supported have been very good for those organizations. I'd like to bring up the REACH project, for instance. That YMCA out there, Rotarians gave over $100,000. So there's a lot of money that goes through this community to those various organizations, that come from Rotarians.
Yeah, the REACH project is a collaboration between several organizations. The partners were Kettering Health Network, the City of Xenia, the Senior Center, which is the Xenia Adult Recreation and Services Center, the YMCA, Central State, and Clark State. None of us had the funds to build a wonderful facility for ourselves, so we collaborated together. We named it the REACH Project, which stood for Recreation, Education, Activity, Community, and Health. It's changed us tremendously. We have about 4,000 more square feet. The other facility we were in, we were there for almost 40 years, so it was quite old. We've only been here since January, so in the last 7 months, we have added almost 200 members to our rolls, so we are up to almost 900 members. We've never been over 700 members in the 15 years that I've been here. So a lot of changes have taken place.
Well, I know that in the past you've helped with the annual community Easter egg hunt, whether it's donating some baskets or donating some funds towards that. I believe you have some scholarship funds that you give out every year to help promote our Xenia High School kids going on and furthering their education.
Well, in this community, we've always been involved in the schools, always been involved with handicapped children, always been involved with the elderly. So I think that much of our involvement has been not only to enhance the community, but to help those that are less fortunate than us.
Our club engaged in a very big program. We purchased supplies and equipment for a TB hospital, the J.R. Borgia TB hospital in Cagayan de Oro in the Philippines. So we went out and we raised $40,000. I went to every Rotary Club in our District 6670. We bought the equipment. Of course, it was interesting because we had to get it over there, but we were able to persuade the Dole Pineapple Company that they would piggyback our equipment on the back of their ships that were headed to the Philippines. It was a big project for us and one of our very successful adventures in international cooperation.
Another big project that we do that we're very proud of, another celebration, is our Pancake Day. Now, Pancake Day is a tradition that's gone more than 60 years. And it's as simple as this. We invite the community to breakfast. It's an all-day breakfast, and thousands of people come.
Pancake Day was always that one event that tied me to Rotary. As a kid growing up, when I thought of Rotary, I always thought of Pancake Day.
I think Pancake Day was good because you were able to you bought the tickets and you gave them out to people in the community. And that went a long way. I mean, the people who wouldn't have ordinarily been able to go, they were able to actually go to the Pancake Day. And so appreciative of that.
There's something very special about it. All your friends are there. You see people that you know. You're waiting in line together. It's an amazing tradition in our community. I've missed one Pancake Day, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost cried. I love Pancake Day.
They had started this program, and you have to have partners, so it was the Greene County Library, plus our county Rotary clubs, plus United Way, plus individual donors who had made it happen in this county. So I thought that was just a great thing. So one of the reasons I'm here today is to thank the Rotary for doing it all these years, and I've kind of used that, model across the state as I've traveled and talked to other counties into doing it.
If I were to point out a theme, it's for a love of the Xenia community. So one way or another, we're always looking out to make the home team the best team.
I apologize, Jeannie Hughes, our piano player, is not able to attend today. We are a singing Rotary club. Sorry about that for the club that's not normally a singing Rotary club, but we are a singing Rotary club. And we are just going to sing one song today. Let's sing America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful for space, the skies.
Xenia is one of the only Rotary clubs left that still sings. I think singing, adds to the camaraderie. I think it sometimes adds some humor to the club because we're not the greatest singers. Without our pianist, Gene, who's been there forever, and is such an important part of the club, we're really bad.
I would guess that may have been the original icebreaker. We have all these things that they call their new networking things. That's the original icebreaker, I think, singing.
We're going to skip all of our announcements except one.
It's a great tradition. I think it sort of warms us all up. I am not a singer. I do never want to lead music. No, thank you. And yeah, sometimes we sound real good.
Yeah,
and sometimes we don't.
What's fun too is that when you see a visiting Rotarian that's never been at this club before, these visiting members, they'll come in and all of a sudden we're singing songs, and it's sort of like you can see the smile come on their face, like, wow, they're actually going to sing, and the Rotarian songs.
I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those that I hope on my day when I'm leading that Jeannie is there, so I don't have to do a cappella. But it really is something fun, and it makes the Xenia Rotary more unique.
I think it connects the group in a different way. If you skipped it, we would skip something very important. We would lose some part of our grand culture of gathering together and singing and sharing. And the songs we sing are supposed to be uplifting. You can tell sometimes the mood in the room's we're not in a singing mood, but we sing anyway.
I think that's the fun time that we generate as a club. So it just kind of generates joy.
I think it loosens us up. I think it breaks the ice. It gets everybody comfortable, a little lightheartedness from the singing. So
I like the fact that we sing. I think it pulls us all together, although we may not be the best choir that you've ever heard. The majority of people that when they start singing, you can hear that they're giving it their best, and you look around the room, just everybody's smiling. It kind of sets the tone for the meeting. Music has a way of connecting people.
Jeannie gets the biggest thrill out of playing for Rotary. She's done it for 30 plus years, I think. I don't really know. 40 plus years. And it's not so great when Jeannie's not there.
It levels the playing field. No matter how serious or how silly a song might be, I don't care if you're the local insurance agent or a city or county official or the local radio personality. If everybody's going to sing along and sing a song of Rotary, it does what I just said. It levels the playing field. And it provides a little bit better atmosphere for fun and fellowship.
I think it's really nice. I think it's a nice aspect that they do that, and the people can let their expressions out. I think they enjoy it, especially when we use songs that they like. sing very boisterous, and it's just beautiful.
All right.
There's been a lot of change in 21 years that I've been there. Club's a little smaller because small town America has shrunk a little bit. You know, there aren't too many local shoe stores and local hardware stores. And the local shopkeepers no doubt populated our club heavily in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. We saw that trend start to shrink a little bit.
By the time I came into the club was starting to evolve into maybe more of a service organization and less of a business organization. All of a sudden, you started to get more public sector people into the club, you know, nonprofits, you know, schools, you know, et cetera.
I mean, when you walk into a meeting nowadays, how many ties do you see? I mean, you don't see ties.
It's got to be more relaxed than what it was back in the day. It was more of a gentleman's club. One, they had no women. And it was probably, I'm going to assume it's that more of the elitist kind of thing.
At the time, there was only one category allowed in the group. So one banker, one insurance person, one whatever the category was, you only had one of it. So it was an elite group.
Yeah, I thought it was a little exclusive back in those days, but that later loosened up, which I agree with. I think it should be the quality of the person more so than the vocation or the industry that person might be in.
I'm sure that in 1920, that the makeup of the club is not nearly as diverse as it is today.
I can only imagine that it would be a male club and white male club. And it wasn't until not so long ago that it was integrated, and especially for women. So I think the makeup has really changed, and I'm so glad that Rotary has been open to accepting people, not based on color, but on their leadership skills and their potential for the club.
Xenia Rotary Club was the first Rotary Club in Southwest Ohio, in our Rotary district, to have an African American member. First African American was the president of CSU, Lionel Newsom, and he wasn't in Rotary very long. But then came along one of our most important members and one of our most loved members, Harry Johns. And Harry was a member for many, many, many years. And Rotary was so important to Harry, and Harry was important to Rotary.
He was one of the anchor members of the club when I joined, and he had been around in the club since the early 70s, or late 60s, early 70s. You probably remember when he joined.
Harry was wonderful. He was active until the day he died.
There's no better person than a Harry Johns to lead the way for others to follow and to be a mentor and to be a beacon.
I think that his presence, he was so intelligent and could give so much to the club. I think it gained a lot of respect for us as a people.
To have the kind of integrity that Harry had, and to have the history that he had as a proud black man from the state of Ohio through World War II to the assets he brought to the Central State community, it was a blessing to sit in Rotary with Harry all those years.
Since I've come in the club, women have been admitted to Rotary. A huge change for Rotary. I think very positive. I tell people there would be no Rotary today without women.
And that changed for the Xenia Rotary Club when I became president in 1992. We found Joyce Wilson, who was the postmaster of the city of Xenia. And we approached her, and she agreed to come into the club. And then after she was brought into the club, other women came into the club. And our first woman president of the club was a very active businesswoman here in Xenia, Carol Holmes. And she was a dynamo and a very, very sharp businesswoman who was an excellent president of this local club.
I think women are extremely important to the club, and I think that the men are very accepting. I think in about every organization now, women are a part of it and are taking leaderships in government and in every walk of life. So I don't think it was a real shift for the men to be open to women coming. Women make things happen. Women are good leaders and they get the job done. So I think it's been a good marriage between the two.
I joined 21 years ago, and there weren't a lot of lady members then. There were a few, but they were leaders. Carol Holmes, Barb Mills. They know how to get a lot of things done that all of us guys will sit around and talk about. But they can be the boots on the ground when we need them the most.
And the women that we have in Rotary are movers and shakers, and they get a lot done. And so I think the men appreciate the women in Rotary, and I think that's one of the big differences in Rotary from the early years till now.
Members of the club would sit around and talk about the time when women were actually not members of Rotary. And when they first joined, they had to change like the pins that were worn at the meeting because women did not want to pin like their silk blouses and things, which I can completely understand. So it's just very interesting to learn how things have evolved.
I think if we can get by gender and race and all the other things that divide us and just look at the character of a person, I think that's the best evaluator. And we look back and say, women in the group, no big deal. We're used to that. But back in the day of potentially the good old boys club, that was a challenge to the very essence and the core culture of that group. I think that's a huge move. And we enjoy the benefits of that today.
Yeah, they're good business people. They care, they serve, they should be in there with us. And I think most Rotarians all agree with that.
One of the best benefits that I think the Xenia offers, whether you're a business community to the community as a whole, is our diversity. We have it all here. And sometimes it's not always makes it easier, but it's one of our assets, true assets.
Diversity always is better. Differentiation of ideas, having a board where you have a tad of dissension. Not everybody just rubber stamps everything. You've got to question the status quo. That's a healthy environment.
Do we want to be a club that is viewed as well diverse, or a club that's, old school, doesn't change much? Again, it goes back to the songs. I think we have a lot of traditions that have been tried and true and they're staying the course. But at the same time, Xenia Rotary has expanded. We are open to all. And I think, again, if you're really going to be adhering to the four-way test, we could never be a club with success that would have been exclusive to any gender or any race.
We're looking at the individual, and we're looking at somebody that's willing to serve, somebody that wants to give back, and then also have fun with each other and build relationships with each other. So I think all of that is probably evolved over time.
But I would also like to think that some things have not changed. And when you go to the Rotary four-way test that's been in place since the existence of Rotary International, for a century, there have been businessmen and women who have a creed that we abide by, a core of people that get together every week and subscribe to those tenets. That's what the club's all about. And it's us holding each other to that type of a standard that makes Xenia a really good place to live and to work and to serve.